Hi, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending from which part of the planet you are currently joining us. Welcome to another edition of Data Jazzers live from Redmond. We are super excited for this edition because we're going to talk about, at least I'm super excited because that's one of my most anticipated features. And I'm happy to have Matt and Nimesha with us. So, guys, would you like first to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit more about yourself and in which team you are currently working and so on.
Yeah. So my name's Matt Meyer. I'm an engineering manager here at Microsoft on the Power BI team. Um, been here for 19 years now. Pretty much working in the business intelligence space, working on early products like SQL Server reporting services. I worked heavily in BIDS or Business Intelligence Development Studio, SSDT, take your pick. I worked on all of them.
Oh, okay.
So I've also worked on early versions of the modeling stuff when we integrated Tinsel, and so here recently been moving back into the enterprise tooling phase or pro tooling area, and most recent thing we shipped was TimdleView.
Okay, awesome. Thanks. So 19 years, you're a fresh guy in Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
When you mentioned all of these technologies, then I also figured out how old I am. So yeah, we will skip that part.
Yeah, no. It's kind of scary to see what else came out around that time.
Yeah. Nimesha, how about you?
So I'm an engineer on Matt's team. I've been here for about 5.5 years now. Worked on various things, mostly paginated reports, org apps, and from the past 6 months or maybe almost a year on TimdleView. So modeling is still fairly new to me. So this was like my first foray into all of that. And yeah.
Oh, how do you like it so far?
It's very exciting. I feel like this is like the most customer appreciation like I've ever seen for a feature that I've worked on. So it's exciting.
Yeah. Can you share a little bit more of a background? How do you came up with the TMDL view in Power BI Desktop? Or let's take 1 or 2 steps back and explain why TMDL is such a big deal for Power BI developers, for tabular developers.
Uh, well, it's just one piece of a broader strategy, right? So, Tyndall itself is just the language, or it's what used to be, or I guess the replacement for Tinsel, which was the JSON-based language. And it's really trying to target a lot of problems that we ran into with Tinsel, and things that modern developers have been asking for, things like CI/CD, Git integration, better diffing, better cross-team collaboration, all those kinds of things. So the language itself was kind of pulled in from all that, or trying to target that audience and solve those problems. Um, as far as you know if you're familiar with a lot of the old tooling, there's a lot of things that you can't do in desktop. It was targeting self-service analytics, and there's a lot of capabilities that you couldn't do as an enterprise developer, and you had to rely on third-party tooling, or you had to use things like SSMS, and so those two I would say are probably two of the bigger buckets of why a lot of these things are coming around. So the Tyndall language, DAX query view was a kind of step into that direction as well. And TimdleView now is kind of what we would say is the replacement for SQL Server Management Studio. And what's really powerful about it, and obviously there's going to be more things coming, is that it now enables you to do a lot of things with the model that you just couldn't do before, or you had to use third-party tooling. And we're trying to address those gaps. And we still got a long way to go. We're working on it, and I know Namisha's going to show a couple more things that are coming up. But ideally, the goal is that you don't have to be able to use external tools or third-party tools, and now you can do everything that you need to do inside desktop or inside Microsoft tooling.
Yeah. I think you brought a good point because no matter how amazing some of these external tools are, and personally I use Tabular Editor a lot, but there are many clients that they don't simply allow installing any third-party tooling. So yeah, in those cases, this is a lifesaver, really. Dex view and then TMW is really lifesaver for those use cases. So yeah, I would say it was a good decision from you guys to go this way. Do you
It's
have some?
evolved. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
sorry.
I was going to say it's evolved over several months for sure, but yeah, this is kind of what we landed on, and it's pretty exciting. So, what
Yeah.
were you going to ask? Sorry.
No, I was just about to ask. Do you have some early feedback? Like, what are people mostly using TMW for? What are the most common things that they are doing? I have one to share later, but I would just like to hear if you already have something like that. Yeah.
I think things like bulk editing measures is a big one. Sharing scripts is another, which is something I can share. Some stuff there we can share. Those are two of the big ones, I think. I don't know if you've been following any of Rui's posts on LinkedIn or anything, but he's been doing a lot of the GitHub integrations or GitHub Copilot integration, through the VS Code extension, which has been really powerful. There's a lot of cool things you can do there. I know in FabCon, we are working on TimDLView Copilot integration within desktop, so you don't have to go out to that. And there's a lot of cool things you can do there. There's just a lot of time-saving things that you can do that you couldn't do before, editing perspectives, translations. But I'd say the big one is people like bulk editing measures or sharing scripts. Those are big ones.
Yeah, I agree. I figured out one very interesting use case. I'll share this with you before I move it to Nimesha for demo. So changing the storage mode for the table from import to direct query. So previously it was really pain. Like, okay, from direct query to import, you can switch from user interface, but it was not possible with to do it from import to direct query. And now, so what we were doing, if I need to do that, I need to delete the table, load it again as a direct query. All relationships are broken, everything is broken. So now I just open TMW and I can in table definition, I can change the storage mode for the table. So for me, that's also maybe niche use case, but super helpful in those situations.
I've heard that one come up a few times already.
Okay, okay, cool. Okay, then Nimesha, do you have something to show to our audience regarding TMW?
Yes. So let me do share my screen. One sec. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, and it's currently live.
Okay. All right. So I have the sales report. It's a report that Rui demos with often as well. And most of my demo will also focus on doing bulk updates to measures, since that's our most common use case. But just to provide a brief overview, if anyone hasn't used TimDLView yet, it's a preview feature. So to enable it, you'll go to options, your option settings in desktop. And oh no, what's happening? 1 second. I think it switched my screen. 1 second. Sorry.
No worries.
Okay, there. So then you'll go to preview features and then enable TimDLView. And then once you do that and you have an editable model that you've opened, you can go to TimDLView here. We provide like a very brief overview of what you can do. But essentially it'll show you your semantic model. Actually, 1 second. It did not open my report. Oh, it's still opening it. Oh,
no worries. That's the beauty of live demo.
Yeah, it was literally, I tested everything.
No worries. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the joy of using dev builds.
It's before, but 1 second. Let me move. I think I can move it here and it should work.
Hey, Jay. Hi.
Let me reshare. My bad.
I'm here.
Good to see you.
I'm so sorry, you all, for being so late. Oh.
No worries. You just arrived at time, so we are doing demo now, live demo.
Perfect.
So yeah,
Looking forward to that. It's perfect timing then for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Now can you?
Does, Ah, yeah, we can see this nice map.
Okay. All right. So I have my model loaded up here. I can drag and drop basically any semantic model object, and it will like show me everything about that model. So let me drag and drop. Okay, so in Portuguese, so if I want to edit anything here, I can go ahead and do that. And we show all the different properties associated with any of these objects. So I can pull in my table, for example, and we have some cool language service features. So if I don't know like what some property is, I can use autocomplete to add something here, maybe a description or whatever. So yeah, and we also have diagnostics. So if I accidentally like use like an incorrect keyword or something, like name this column 1, 2,
It will signal, yeah.
it'll tell me. And then it's also it's a go-to line, so I can if I click on it, it'll go to where it's wrong. So
I
yeah,
didn't even know that, by the way. That is, I completely missed that you can do that. You can click on the thing to go. I was just reading it and going like, oh, where is it? But you can actually
Yes,
click on
same with me. Same with me. I didn't realize that. So
I didn't know.
yeah.
That's these models can get very large, so that is super useful.
Yeah, it is. Awesome.
Yeah. What I like about this feature mostly is it's so human readable. So it's unlike TMSL or let alone other languages, but this one is really human friendly.
Yeah. So you mentioned how you've been switching from import to direct query. I was reading all these LinkedIn posts where people try to like measure performance, so they'll duplicate the same table, one in direct query, and it's literally just that's all I have to do, and then
But still, if they just want a simple duplicate, they can copy paste the code, right? And then
not sure why it failed, but anyway, I think that's just demo. It works.
And again, if you need to just to create multiple stuff, you simply do copy paste. You don't need to go back to user interface, connecting to data source, and blah blah blah. It's really way more efficient.
So, and you get immediate feedback as well. So, like, let's say I want to add a measure here and I want to get like unique number of orders or something like that. And I can call it the number of orders with sales. And I want to get the unique number of orders, maybe. And then I'll just copy the same format string here. So lineage tag is unique per per property. So leave that. That's not required. Modeling engine will automatically add it. So you can see that I added this measure and it got updated in my model super quickly. So we don't have Copilot here currently, but you can, let's say you want to add descriptions to all these measures. I just copied over the same thing to VS Code, the same table with all these measures. And I can ask VS Code, please add descriptions.
It's not showing it right now if you got it up.
Oh, 1 second.
Maybe it's on a...
It doesn't let me share like a window. Let me represent.
No worries. Okay, now we are in VS Code.
Okay, so I'm asking Copilot, please add descriptions to my measures. Prefix the description with 3 slashes. That's like the Tyndall format to add comments.
Hmm.
So, okay, it takes a little bit, but
But it works.
it works. So it's adding comments, and it's actually correct. So, and then I can copy this over back to my Tyndall view and
Hmm.
apply it. It's adding
But
syntax as well, but which is incorrect. We don't support that, so I can just get rid of
yeah,
that. And,
but you mentioned Copilot. Will it be supported in the future for TMW?
Yeah, we're working on integrating that in now. Yeah, so that you won't have to go between the two. Because like in this scenario with the VS Code extension, you have to save it as a PBIP, but going forward with it integrated, you don't have to be PBIP. It can be PBIX.
Yeah. Okay. I see. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I mean, a huge time saver. And what I would also like to ask you guys, if you can share some new exciting things or features you are planning for to extend this TMDL view. Of course, if you can share what's not under NDA or something like that.
Yeah, so I have one cool thing to share. Let me switch my screen one more time. 1 second.
Yeah, I don't know if Rui had posted out a blog, a deep dive blog, and I think it's he's got a few things that we're working on. He mentioned there. Obviously, we just talked about the TimberView Copilot stuff. There's also we're going to be bringing TimberView to the web as well. What we've done with that query view, and what Namisha's about to show here, which is a preview feature. Kind of a little misleading, not a desktop preview feature, but a preview feature for your model. So
okay.
So I had that. Let me copy over the measures I had with the description. 1 sec. Okay, so these are the measures I added, or the descriptions I added. Let me get rid of the comments from here because they will not work. Okay, and so I updated all these different measures. Right now, there's no easy way to figure out what exactly you changed, and these models can be large. So we will soon have a preview feature where you can preview exactly what you changed in the entire model. So here I can see all the descriptions that I added, and I can go and edit, refresh my preview. So we're still working on it, but yeah, you'll be able to.
Oh, okay. So you see like a comparison between the old version and new version.
Yep.
Before you apply it, right? So we take the local Tom instance of it and compare what's currently
before you break something.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so we're pretty excited about this.
Diff stuff, right? Like it's like before you check in, you can see the difference between what is happening before and after the changes. This is awesome, actually. I didn't know this was coming. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is really cool. Yeah, this is really cool. We have a question from Justino. Will there be, if you guys know the answer, will there be official Power BI extension or official Fabric extension for VS Code and Cursor?
So we do have an extension, the Tyndall VS Code extension. The difference is that's more of a code editor versus scripting interface. The scripting capability, there's no current plans to bring that to VS Code capability, and they kind of complement each other. There's we don't want to duplicate it there. But we do have an official VS Code extension for the Tyndall language itself.
Okay. Yeah, cool. That's good to know. Another question, if of course, again, if you feel like you can answer, what about the model that has been trained on Power BI and Power BI Data Model? That Power Query M Code and Semantic Model. Can you just rephrase this, Justino? Sorry, at least I can't understand the question. It can be trained. Yeah. Okay. Let's wait for clarification. Yeah, this is cool for comparison. So that's cool. Any other things you guys are working on that you can share with the audience?
One update that's coming in the March release of desktop is you'll be able to edit remote models with TimDLview. So it'll be similar. It'll look exactly like this, and then it'll get updated in your.
That's also interesting. So
Yeah.
you connect to remote model and you use TimDLview to.
Well,
Mhm.
I was going to say, yeah, it's or specifically direct link models, right? To where you can edit
Aha,
remotely,
okay.
right? That's the only. So live connect models where you're just connecting to the data itself, that's still going to be a read-only scenario.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Or but yeah, for edit direct link, yeah, we're going to.
Yeah.
Okay, I was hoping for this regular live connections, but yeah, okay, yeah, that's totally understandable. So clarification is a model that understands DAX and Power BI. So model that has been trained.
I think I understand the question. So and if I'm wrong, please clarify. But one thing I think, and we do want to do this, and we are looking to do this, is right now you got the syntax support and all the code editing support for the TimDL language in here. But you also want to be able to get all the rich DAX editing and M editor editing in there as well. And so, yeah, we would have to integrate in the parsers for that. It's something we'd like to do. I don't know when when we will do that, but we do want to bring those capabilities into it. So you'd be able to do your DAX editing straight from here and get all the syntax highlighting and editing capabilities there as well as M.
Okay, nice. And yeah, I have one question which is not strictly related to TimDLview, but now when I'm looking at Nimesh's screen, the number of views growing. You guys have enough space for for everything in the future.
Oh, come on, dude. We have a long way to go. And otherwise, we just introduced another scroll bar. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Accessibility.
Right now,
Yeah.
we're talking to side-by-side view, but this could be inline, so it doesn't look as bad. But we're working on like adding all those things. But so it can be a little bit smaller if you choose to do inline div.
Yeah, it's totally cool. But I remember times when we had just 3 of those views, and now 2 were added recently. So I don't know if you plan to add more.
Hey,
What
I'm not aware of anymore, but you never know.
You never know. Yeah, you never know.
PMs will always come up with something, Matt. You know that, right? So.
Oh yeah.
But also, I think, Nicola, one thing we should also consider in the future is allowing you to actually do the proper IDE stuff that you can do, for example, with Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code. It's like take a pane and move it to a different window.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, right?
That would be great. That would be great.
Then you have your TimDL on one screen and your model view, your report view on the other one as well, right? Or whatever. And just allow this to be like use more real estate for all of those. And that is like, I think, to be honest, yes, today I don't think we are planning to add more panes to this left nav here. But even if we were, I think we should prioritize allowing you to take a pane and move it to a different window than just clogging this even further, right?
So, yeah. Makes sense.
Actually, with the bringing these capabilities to the web, you can do those things. So I mean, it's not true pane support from a single IDE, but you can have multiple screens. Like you can have one browser open to your DQV, you could have another on your model view, and so you can do that in those scenarios. So that's one advantage of the web capability that we have.
Yeah. And you mentioned the TimDLview also comes to web UI.
It is planned, and we haven't started. But we are planning on doing it. So
just for folks who are listening and wondering if there will be like feature parity. Okay, that's also good to know. Yeah, good. Nimesh, do you have anything else to show us?
This is all I have so far. We are working on all the other exciting things as well, but I don't have.
Great. Just keep up the amazing work. So this is definitely one of the features I hear in the community people are most, at least those developers are most excited about. So great work, and just keep it up.
Oh, I guess it's in the private chat. I don't know if you can post it for everybody there, but we were talking about one of the strong capabilities, or one of the the major nice features of the Timdo view is being able to copy and paste scripts. And one of the designers here, Lucas, has put together a site where you can put a bunch of snippets in. My favorite obviously is a counter table, when you can just grab it and drop it in and apply it, and boom, you got a date table in there. So
okay,
scripts already in there, so give it a try, check it out.
I didn't know we had this, Matt.
Me neither. So that's great to know. Yeah, that's great to know.
It's not something the development team did. This is, he did it on side for us to kind of help, but yeah.
I mean, I am working on some features that I'm not going to talk about today, but where this will be very useful for. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, thanks for sharing this, Matt. Yeah.
No problem.
And so I'm just looking at the website, just to clarify, it allows submissions by others as well, right? So it's not just us, it's community driven, no?
Yep.
Awesome.
Day tables is probably the most common one you guys have seen, people trying to recreate it. Everybody's got a different way of doing it, and now you can just grab the snippet, pop it in, and hit apply.
Yeah, measure table with icons. I love that. Okay.
Yes. That's very cool. I mean, we should market this more somehow. I didn't know that this existed at all. So that's just also something I'll ask Ruby to write a blog about or something once we're done.
He has it. I think he put it on one of his LinkedIn posts. But yeah, it's definitely floating around there. So
yeah, I'll definitely explore this in next few days. Yeah. Thanks, Matt. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah. If there are no more topics to share or cover, I would first like to thank you, both of you, for joining us today and for showing this great feature and what's planned. That's also something that we also like to introduce to our audience. And yeah, of course, thanks, Jay, for being a wonderful co-host as always.
For being late.
No, never mind. Yeah, up to 15 minutes, it's it's tolerated. So
hey, I was there when the good stuff started.
For me, you were on time, so don't worry at all. Thanks, Matt. Yeah. Thanks, Nimesha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for watching, and go and check this link that Matt shared with us for these snippets. And use TMDLview. It's awesome. Use TMDLview. It's awesome. Yeah.
Go use TMDLview, and also I will make sure that we post about this link, because that is new to me. And we should market more about that, because as excited as I am about the TimDLview, I'm also very excited about the snippet thing that I didn't know existed. So that's really cool.
Talk to Lucas. He's the one behind it. So
very cool. I will reach out to him and make sure that we market the heck out of this, because that's going to be very useful in the future, also for DAX reuse, for example, right, and stuff like that. So very cool. Yeah, thanks for making the time. That's great. Thanks, Nimesha. Thanks, Matt. And
no problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, and see you next month with new features.
See you all.
See you all. Bye-bye.